tennis racket. So this is the Babolat tennis racket. It's instrumented, it's got sensors and gyroscopes and all kinds of things in it that help train you, right? They track what you do when you're out playing tennis. They track how you swing and what you hit. And when you're done, you can go take a look at your smartphone and understand what you did wrong, what you did right, how you could be better. But the problem here is that you're interacting with these things in very different ways. You've got the physical product on one hand, you've got the smartphone on the other, and you're forced to do a lot of the mental mapping between those things. And at PTC, we envision a world like this, where I would be able to get that same information in the context of the physical world. I would be able to understand where the ball strikes were, what the angle of incidence and reaction were. I'd be able to understand a lot more meaningfully, with greater context, what was going on. Now, you probably don't have a smart connected tennis racket. You might not even play tennis. But you probably do have other products where this could be meaningful. And this idea is causing us to rethink what sort of the broad sense of the IoT stack looks like. If we think about traditional IoT sensors and connectivity and a device cloud and an application, you can think about that as a way to listen to and interact with your products, listen to and communicate with them, talk to them. You can think about AR as a way to see them, as a way to really experience the data that's coming out of them, which results in a much more holistic, comprehensive experience. So these two things blend together can change the way that we experience the world around us. Again, you might not have that tennis racket, but you probably have a car, you probably have a GPS. And today, again, you deal with those in two completely different ways. You're looking at your dashboard to understand where to go. You're looking at the road, trying to map what you've learned in the GPS onto the road. And of course, AR provides a much more meaningful experience, provides us the context for the information so that we can action it much more meaningfully. We get that insight and we can act upon it. So this is what's driven PTC to build out our IoT platform. We've spent about $1 billion over the last 3 years acquiring technology and integrating it with the rest of the PTC stack. And it's resulted in a platform that is quite broad, provides everything from connecting at the edge to aggregating that information, performing analytics on it so that you can gain some of that insight, managing devices on the edge, as well as being able to experience this information. Experience it in AR, which is what I'll spend quite a bit of time talking about, or experience it in VR as well, where we transcend distance and scale and even time to make this information more meaningful to us. So this is what ThingWorx looks like. It's got all of the capabilities that you need. It's delivered with scalability and security. This is the tool that we provide to get you out of that muck and mire that Aidan talked about a little bit earlier and get you into the world of fermented spirits and liquid gold and all the good stuff that's on the other side. So let's dig a little bit deeper into this, into the AR angle, and I'd like to share with you a little bit about how we think about AR and IoT together. Maybe share with you some examples of augmented reality in action. And just like IoT, we believe that the breadth of impact of this technology is quite broad. We think a lot about industrial enterprises, people that have smart connected operations and are making products, and all aspects of the life cycle, from when you're conceiving a product and you want to market it, you want to sell it, all the way through the way you manufacture it, operate it, and then ultimately service it. There's great application of augmented reality in all of these different areas. I'll share with you a couple of examples. And before I do this, I want to make a point. David mentioned Vuforia earlier. So for those of you that aren't familiar with augmented reality, Vuforia is the world's leading augmented reality SDK. If you go to the App Store on Android or iOS and you download an AR app, 81% of the time it's powered by the Vuforia technology. This technology provides computer vision. It allows your device to see and then allows you to do something meaningful with what it sees. Track it, align information to it, okay? It's an SDK and you can go as a developer, develop against it. We have taken that technology, we provide that technology, we're happy to have you go join 325,000 developers that have downloaded it and are combining it with tools like Unity to build apps. But what we've also done is we've built that capability into ThingWorx. That's a core part of our IoT platform, okay? So the examples that I'm showing you, by and large, show that version of Euphoria, which we call ThingWorx Studio. Okay? So what can you do with this? Well, this technology allows you to better market and sell your products. Franke is a company that makes coffee machines. And they use it as a marketing tool so that you can experience what this machine might look like in your home or in your office kitchen. So here we are, this is actually the kitchen at PTC, and we're visualizing, we are experiencing what this thing would look like on the counter. We can see it, we can understand exactly how big it is. There's lots of great applications like this. Furniture, if you use the IKEA catalog. If you're buying a new television, you want to convince your wife maybe that it will fit on the wall. This is great technology to do those kinds of things. As we move through the life cycle, this is a great example from a company called Ego. They're a German electric car manufacturer. And what they've done is in the engineering phase, they've built the structural chassis of the car. And they're using augmented reality to visualize different design alternatives. They're actually, in this case, one of the drivers for them building this was to convince their investors of the progress that they were making and to help the investors understand where they were headed next. You can see there's different body options here. So at the earlier stages of design, you can understand a product that maybe only partially really exists in the physical world by bringing this digital information and overlaying it on top of it. As we move on, another great example of this technology is in training. So here, this gentleman is learning how to weld, but he's never welded before, so we're not sure we want to give him a welding gun and use up all the materials to do that. So what he sees is what it would look like if he were actually burning welding rod. But what we know is that he's actually standing there in front of two pieces of plastic, okay? So this gives us the ability to do this very safely, to track his progress, and to give him exactly the experience that we want him to have, but in a much safer